CEO on the baby.
What's happening? Happy Sunday, fun day. Hope all is well with everybody. Thank you for coming back. BSG, Black Star Guidance. You know who it is. It's Black Star. Here to continue to shine my light for y'all. Give y'all guidance and inspiration along y'all's journey to enlightenment and ascension. And just navigating through this maze we call life, this matrix we call life. Check me out though. I don't know if any of these videos previously, if I made myself clear on just, what I'm here for. And what I'm here for is for you. I'm here for you. For the ones who got something in them, but is afraid to really pull it out. And I know that everybody got something in them, but I mean those people that is right at the precipice of really wanting to show who they really is. And for those people who don't know who they really are, but this caught, their attention, or they was on their front page and they just happened to click on this and something I said hit them. And, ever since then, they've been listening to what I had to say, and it's been helping them as well. I'm just here to help. But most importantly, what I'm here to do is to help you inspire change within yourself. I'm here to show you how to fish, not to give you a fish. I don't want you to depend on me. Understand that I do have abilities, and my abilities can be used to help you within your situations. Like I said, if you're being open and honest about the situations and you want to be truthful and get on a personal level with me, I'm always available. You can reach out to me via email. You can reach out to me via my Instagram or Facebook. It's all good. It's all love. I'm just want to clear that up first and foremost. And then secondly, man, this channel is not just no sunshines and daisies channel. This ain't just a nice walk in the park type, channel. We about to touch on some real shit. We about to touch and really dig on some real shit. We ain't here to fake. We ain't here to front about who we are. We here to say it's okay to be who we are. We here to look at that darkness within you. We here to remove some of them toxic traits. And once you get started, you'll be able to further dissect who and what you are and what you about and what you want to dissect and what you want to become within you. But number one, it all starts with you. You got to want it. You got to want to be here. You got to want to change. You got to want to evolve. You got to want to be more than what you've been, or more than what you've told, more than what you've been told you were, or you weren't. You got a bigger and greater picture for yourself, for your life. I do. That's why I'm here. I've had a checkered past. In no way do I make myself look like, I'm a perfect person. I'm a person. I'm spiritual, but that don't mean even with me being spiritual, I still don't have my human flaws, and I don't have my human ways about me. Have I been a totally different person? Just in comparison to who I was 5 years ago, I'm just go 5. I ain't even gonna go 10. Because 10 years ago, I wouldn't even be here. I really wouldn't. I was into shit I wasn't supposed to be into at that age. Yeah, I always made an honest living, but I had my ways about me, you know, as do everybody. So me being here and, you know what I mean, really changing my life and recognizing the signs and making the progressions and doing the hard work and really digging deep within yourself, you know, that's a true testament of what can actually happen within you too if you truly believe. Like, for me, this is really being some of the toughest shit I had to do in my life. You know, splitting from my family, you know, just dealing with a lot of things, man. I was in a relationship for damn near 15 years. 3 kids, and you know what I mean? You don't understand those things when they're happening. You feel like the world is against you and shit, and you feel like, why is everything bad always happening to me? Like, why can't I never catch a break? And that's just that's a fucked up perspective to have, because that's energy, man. And you got to really believe in your manifestation abilities and understand that the further along that you think negatively about shit and that, you know what I mean, things is always going bad for you, that's exactly what's going to happen, man, because you harboring on that energy and you making that energy so strong by focusing on it that, you know what I mean? Again, they say perception is your reality. That's what you make, and that shit is real. So I had to really grow and understand that sometimes, you know what I mean, things fall down. And things fall down because of foundations. Things just weren't built right. I can really acknowledge and accept that 15-year relationship came crumbling down because it didn't have solid foundation. It was built on a lot of unauthentic self. It was built on a lot of falsehoods and non-truths. And man, everything under the light will be exposed, or everything under the sun will be exposed one day. What's in the darkness is always going to come to the light. And, you know, I'm not going to make the situation seem like it was just all one person. It was myself as well. Again, acknowledging who you are, man, and what you did in your past, the mistakes that you did, the fucked up shit that you did, the fucked up shit that you said, your fucked up perception, your ideas about how things work, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta really be true about looking at yourself. Like, fuck all the dumb shit. Forget all the trying to, you know what I mean, be in your ego. No, that wasn't me, that was their fault, or you know what I mean? No, it always takes 2 to tango. It's always 2. And if you have a disagreement with 5 different people, yo, what's the common denominator in that disagreement? Who is the common denominator in that disagreement? You had a disagreement with 5 different people. I don't care who it is. Your boss, your mom, your son, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your granny. You having disagreements with 5 different people in a span of a week, say. What's the common denominator in that situation? You can't blame it on all 5 of these people that they don't get it. No, you ain't getting it. That's the common denominator. The common denominator is you. You got to do something. You got to make those changes. You got to really be real with yourself and say, okay, you know, that really was fucked up. The way I treated this person, that really was shitty. That really wasn't the best move. And acknowledge that so that you can learn and grow from that, man. Accept the pain that you caused this person and try and be a better person. You don't got to do it overnight because that's just unrealistic. But take steps day by day, you feel me, on being a better person. For me, this shit didn't happen overnight. Like, and I can remember just, you know what I mean, in my recent past, still feeling like there were things that needed to be taken care of on this is a toxic trait that I need to get rid of. This is some shit that I don't need to keep riding with. This is some energy that I don't need to keep flowing with. Because at the end of the day, you got to self-regulate yourself. And if you ain't got the real balls to self-regulate yourself, you're going to walk around acting like ain't nothing wrong with you, and you blame everything on everybody else. But really, at the end of the day, that's what people fail to do, because they so egotistical. They would rather blame it on everybody else than to really be like, yo, this wasn't cool. I am being a bitch. I am being a cat. I am being, and make active changes about those, and not make excuses, but really do something about it. It takes effort. It takes commitment. It takes dedication. Walking in spirituality, walking in faith. It takes just that, man. It takes commitment. It takes dedication. It takes understanding and having that understanding within yourself that even though you're trying to walk this walk, because you're so used to doing things your way, let's just be real. You're so used to doing things your way that now that you are relinquishing the reins of how you're going to live, how you're going to perceive life, your lifestyles, what you do, how you treat people, etc., it's different. Some people can't handle the change and, get shocked or whatever you want to call it from just moving on, doing something different. The uncomfortableness makes a person feel like, no, I can't do this. This shit ain't for me, and I'm gonna back out. But really, that's where you're supposed to be taking on that challenge and really growing. Like, I've had to really understand that some of the uncomfortable situations that I've had to go through have only been meant for my growth. Like, if you're not uncomfortable, if you're not made to feel uncomfortable in certain situations, sometimes you'll just stay there, knowing that these fucking situations ain't good for you, but because there's a comfortability, because there's a fear of change, you just sit back and you allowing this bullshit. You stand in this situation that you know damn well you ain't supposed to be in. That's not good for you. That's not producing no growth. That's not producing anything other than your internal conflict, your mental and spiritual despair. You got to save yourself. You got to be smart. You got to really be dedicated to answering that call and listening to your intuition. Like, intuition is just that, that deep knowing, man, that gut, man. And we ignore that shit so much. And again, I'm not perfect. I've ignored my intuition. Years ago, I ignored it. I still have my times where I ignore that shit now. To keep it real. I still have my times where I ignore it now. But that's the beauty of being a human. That's the beauty of walking, man. That's the beauty of understanding that we do have free will, and there's something that we need to learn every day, all day. Be grateful for the days that we have. Be grateful over the small things that we have, and continue to learn every day. Continue to love every day. Continue to grow every day. Like, I be on some real talk. I be damn near trying to put myself in uncomfortable situations all the time just so I could expose myself to different things. Like, I be trying to eat different foods and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm trying to expose myself to so much differentness, because, man, like I said, you a creature of habit. We're creatures of habit. So what you feel you're comfortable with, you're gonna keep doing it, period. And I'm breaking that. And I encourage y'all to do that same thing. I encourage y'all to really, again, go on with the bullshit about you fine. Go on with that. Go on with that. That's the damn lie. There's something that you need healing. Whether we're talking about childhood traumas, abandonment issues, commitment phobia, low self-esteem, we can go on and on and on. There is something. There is something. Maybe you were touched on as a child. Maybe you were touched on as an adult and you never said nothing about it. Maybe that's still going on right now and you ain't said nothing about it. Male, female, don't matter. It's something. And we get so off base and off touch with our hearts and what's really going on based off of oh, forget it, I'm gonna just drown my sorrows in this and it's gonna go away. No, it's not going away. That pain is still there. It ain't went nowhere. That hurt is still there. That memory of you getting your heart broke, and now you look at men the same way, or now you look at women the same way, and you treat women the same way, or you treat men the same way, that's a sign that you ain't healed what happened. You ain't opened up about what happened. You ain't talked to nobody about it. You ain't allowed yourself to be vulnerable with nobody. You know why? Because you're afraid. Now, you rather look at relationships on a sexual manner instead of looking at relationships on a energetic, interpersonal level. Really getting to know this person. That's why we have a high single family ratio. Because we fuck first and then we move in with each other. And after we move in with each other, we find out, yo, I really don't like this person like this. I really don't like her like that. I really don't like him like that. I really don't see this relationship going any further than what it is. We're going to keep doing the same thing. Some people settle for that. Some people wise up, get smart, and leave. But then on the same token, it took you to bring another child into the world to realize that you needed to rearrange your morals and values and understand the system that you have for yourself. That's ass backwards, because you got to deal with this person for the rest of your life now, off of an hour of hot passionate sex, 45 minutes of hot passionate sex. It may have even been a damn quickie. You may have slid up on your ex on the lunch break and he gave you 37 pumps in 5 minutes, and boom, there's little Adam. There's little Jaquan. There's little Daquan. There's little Marcus. There's little Sarah. Why though? Why? Because you'd rather choose to ignore your heart's aches. You choose to ignore the real signs, the red flags within yourself. You can't recognize nobody else's red flags if you ain't willing to look at your red flags. That's just OMM on my mama. You cannot do that. It doesn't make no sense. You can't point at nobody's flaws and not be willing to look at your flaws. You can't say this person is a fucked up person and not be willing to look at why this person did some of the shit they did back to you, and really take that shit in and really make some real changes. Like for real. And no, you don't have to be a spiritualist to understand that concept. But once you start figuring shit out like that, you start to realize that shit ties into shit. It's all got a lot to do with your energies. It's all got a lot to do with how you perceive things. It's all got a lot to do with how you just digest interactions with people. How you interact with yourself, most importantly. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. If your heart is empty, if you're running on low, if you on a energetic low, if you on a spiritual low, that's called disease, dis-ease. Your soul is at dis-ease. So that disease is going to come out and pollute and toxify everything that you do, because you're not going to be in your right state of mind. You're not going to be in your right essence to make the things that you truly want to work. You got to really dig deep. You got to really look hard at your toxic traits. You got to be open to say, yo, just, for me personally, I know I have my moments where I can get argumentative. I'm already highly opinionated. I already articulate myself a certain way in the first place. I'm already a passionate person, and once somebody get me riled up, it kind of feed my passion. And sometimes I don't know how to fan that flame out to where I just be like, okay, be cool, that's enough. Sometimes I will keep it going. Have I worked on that? Absolutely. But you gotta know your flaws in order to work on them. You got to be willing to address your flaws in order to work on them. If you acting like ain't nothing wrong, that'll be the very reason why you keep sitting in the same position. Those who know me, those who have seen from the outside my journey, could I verify that what they see in my growth, they probably don't even understand it though. Probably can't even explain it. But most definitely it's different though. They tell you that for sure. It's different. Probably say weird, oh, he don't talk to nobody like that no more. When he get on Instagram, he talking some spiritual shit, or he talking some this, or he talking some that. Yeah, I'm being my true me. That's exactly what I'm being, my true me. And I ain't got no shame in it. Because I can be my true me in front of people, and then I can be my true me in darkness, which means I can address my flaws. I can address my shadow side and not be embarrassed about that shit. I really encourage that. I really encourage y'all to dig in y'all selves, man. Let that darkness within you be opened up with some light. Because then you'll understand a whole lot more about you. Like, I've been on a journey of just figuring out me. I've been through so much and been to so many different places over the last year, just tinkering and really refining who I am, starting all over pretty much from scratch. Like, you know what I mean? Trying to figure out what make me tick all over again. What makes me happy, what bring my joy outside of my family, outside of my children. That's pretty much what I was living for, my kids. And you begin to see, even with living just for your kids, man, there's no satisfaction with just living for your kids. Why? Because again, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not coming from a place of joy, you're not really going to enjoy your kids like you should, because you're looking at the kids like a responsibility also. Granted, they are a responsibility, but they are a blessing. And when you start receiving the blessing the way it is, then things change. When you start looking at life like life is a blessing, things change for you. When you start looking at, you got your heart broken 10 years ago, that shit was a blessing. Rejection is protection. That was a blessing. But until you learn that lesson that's behind the blessing, you're going to feel and think and perceive like shit ain't working out for you. Like shit ain't going nowhere. But that's because you ain't did no introspection. It's time for introspection. You got to look in yourself. Remove. Control, Alt, Delete. For my computer heads, Control, Alt, Delete. Get shit out of there. Put that shit in the trash permanently. Write it down on a piece of paper. Burn it afterwards. Write down your toxic traits that you want to get rid of. Put it on a piece of paper and burn that shit. Start working towards them. Start working towards those goals that you want. As long as you doing shit to get to your goal on a day-to-day basis, on a daily basis, it may take 5 years. It may take 5 months. It may take 6 days. But at the end of the day, you got to keep moving. You got to keep going. You got to keep striving. Keep pushing. Keep being true. Keep digging. Keep looking at you. Because that's the only way you're going to continue to evolve. I love y'all. I really do. I'm really grateful for y'all being here. I really appreciate those that are here, and I appreciate the ones that will come. Y'all be strong. Y'all take heed to what I'm saying. Y'all understand. Feel me. I ain't perfect. I had a checker pass. But look at me now. And I haven't even received nearly the blessings that I know that's intended for me. But you know what? I'm walking day by day. This is a part of my mission. to give back, to share the knowledge that I obtained to get here to where I am now, so that I can look back 2 years from now and hopefully be progressing in my life and have progressed in my life, and you all as well. Be blessed. Hope to see y'all soon. Peace.